Kanina ba kayo na-obsess?
He became my first crush in
Fan ako ng BTS. I was an ARMY before. Siguro hanggang ngayon, char. Konti lang. Si Jesus the one who never ran away. Pag binabalikan ko yung time, yung past ko, it was not rosy. Parang ang dark niya. But throughout those years, Jesus stayed. He never really left me. Even when I felt like I was alone.
kung sa kanya, a love na yung nagstay talaga. Yung sa akin, it's a love that never lets me go. And how can I not worship the one who loved me so much that even his life, he gave for me. Parang he is worth my all.
Faith isn't just for Sundays, it's lived every day, in real moments that shape who we become. Here at Faith in Real Life podcast, we share real stories and honest conversations about faith. The wins, the losses, the joy, and the mess. All centered on walking with Jesus. Real conversations, real life, real faith in Jesus. This is Faith IRL.
Hello and welcome back to Faith IRL. I am so excited for today's episode because we're gonna be talking about being a fangirl! Fangirl mode activate. Yung, alam mo yon yung tipong present kayo every concert or kaya pag may bagong release na album, puyat ka rin. Yung mga tipong random facts about them ay alam mo rin. But also, we'll tackle later on how as a Christian also could navigate yung fangirl culture sa panahon natin ngayon. Like, hanggang saan ba yung healthy admirations? Or kaya, when does it become idolatry? And paano tayo magsiset ng boundaries natin? And of course, today, joining with me is Ate AJ and Ate Shin na mga super fangirl din daw dati.
Dati.
And welcome po sa ating podcast. So, whether you're currently in your fangirl era or nagde-detach pa kayo or kaya napapaisip pa kayo if okay pa ba to? Pwede pa ba itong ginagawa? This episode might be for you. So, let's talk about it and let's start. So, Ate AJ and Ate Shin, can you paint me a picture of your fangirl era? So, kanina ba kayo na-obsess or kaya lang nag-start yung pagiging fangirl nyo? Sige, let's start with Ate Shin.
I'd say I was a diehard fan of Ginebra growing up.
Oh.
I became a fan
May picture
when
tayo
I
dito.
was in grade 6. Grade 6. So that was 20 years ago. And for those who might not know, Barangay Ginebra is one of the most popular teams in the PBA. So they are known
Powerhouse.
for their huge fan base called the Barangay and their iconic Never Say The Attitude! NSD! Hashtag NSD. And being a fan, I know it wasn't random. Kasi I was part of a house where PBA games ay part talaga siya ng buhay namin. So, especially Ginebra games. So, yung tatay ko, yung mga pinsan kong lalaki, tito, they were all fans. And somehow, parang na-inherit ko siya. And there's this one game na hanggang ngayon hindi ko pa makakalimutan. So, it was 2006, Game 6 Finals against San Miguel Beermen. So, kung fans kayo ng Ginebra na kaedad ko or mas matanda sa akin, alam niyo to, Ginebra fan was down and it felt like it was over. And then they managed to tie the game, forced overtime. Then JJ Halterbrand takes over. So I have to mention JJ Halterbrand because he became my first crush in Ginebra. And that game turned me from casual viewer into a diehard fan. Hindi na siya yung nanonood lang ako kasi nanonood sila sa bahay. Nanonood ako kasi fan ako. And after that game, I was really hooked to the point na I never miss a game on TV. Tapos, medyo emotionally invested na din ako. Pag talo sila, frustrated talaga ako. Pag panalo sila, masaya ako. So, ganon. But, I thought, yun na yung peak ko ng pagiging fangirl. Yun pala, may ilalalim pa siya. So, nung high school, yun nga sabi ko, emotionally invested na ako. I've even made a Twitter and Instagram account just to follow players and connect with other fans. Tapos, pagdating ng college, it went deeper. So, I remember yung first big fan milestone ko was my 18th birthday. So, ang wish ko lang po nung 18th birthday ako, hindi po magsuot ng party or mag-conduct ng party or magsuot ng gown. Pero manood ng Ginebra in person. And what are the odds na on the exact day of my birthday, saktong-sakto, may game yung Ginebra.
Wow.
Kaso, talo sila that time. May isa pa akong wish. Sabi ko, sana makapagpa-picture ako with Ginebra player. Tapos, edi pa uwi na kami nun. Tapos nakasalubong ko si Chris Ellis. Si Chris Ellis, he was a small forward. Yan siya. Yan yung picture ko nung 18th birthday ko. So, Chris Ellis was also known as Slam Dunk contest champion. And then, ayun nga, parang that time, nung nakasalubong namin siya, ang dami nagpapapicture na fans. Tapos, parang nagmamadali na din siya. So, sabi ko, I need to gather all my courage. And that's when I shouted. Talagang shouted kasi, it's my 18th birthday! Can I take a picture with you? As in, ganon. So, parang nung narinig niya yung word na 18th birthday, parang naawa siya sa akin. so, ayun, pumayag siya. So, ito po yung picture. And, that moment, naging bias ko siya. Diba sa K-pop group, bias is the term. So, naging bias ko siya. And, from there, I became more involved. Nag-connect ako sa mga fans until I become an admin of his fan group called, Super Ellis Angels.
Wow.
And then I also started connecting with a fan group called Ginebra Fanatics. Yung next picture. So yung Ginebra Fanatics, that opened up everything for me. Kasi I was able to go to their practice in QC,
Sobrang
in
successful.
Pasay. Oo, sumakses ako dito. In Pasay and in San Juan. And I was able to watch more games regularly and even attend Christmas parties of Ginebra. So, yung obsession ko talaga, from watching on TV to joining fan groups, becoming an admin, and then, yun na.
Yeah. That's what you call a really successful fan.
Success story of a fangirl.
Yeah.
Iinggitan niya ng fans.
That's true. How about you naman po, Ate AJ?
Ako naman, hindi kasing successful nung kanya. Kasi nag-start siya nung lockdown. So, that time kasi nag-hiatus din. Ay, by the way, fan ako ng BTS. I was an ARMY before. Siguro hanggang ngayon, char. Onti lang. Nag-start siya nung lockdown kasi yung little sister ko, siya yung talagang K-pop fan. Na nakikinig siya ng EXO, ano pa ba? NCT and many other. Tapos minsan naririnig ko sa kanya yung BTS. So sa kanya ko unang narinig yung BTS kasi before wala naman ako idea kung sino sila. And then there came a time na bumukod ako ng apartment. I started living alone. And that was also the time na nagagawa ako ng grief journal ko. That was the time kasi I had a brand called Nakikiramay PH. And I was selling a journal for mga namatayan naman ng loved one. And I spent the entire 2021 writing that in my small apartment after work. So, it was very lonely that time. So, sobrang pagod ako sa work, tapos susulat ko pa yon, tapos ile-layout ko din. I was tired. And it was easy to doubt. Kasi kung, ano ba to? May bibili ba talaga dito? Kailangan ba to? So, nung time na yon, madaming BTS reels na dumadaan sa Facebook ko. And noon hindi ko pinapansin. But then, may mga dumaan na reels na ang funny nila kasi may mga reality show sila. It's called Run BTS. Tapos, naglalaro lang sila doon. Tapos naisip ko, ay, funny pala sila. So, from there, I took it to YouTube. Nanood ako ng mga show nila. Tapos lahat ng MV nila, pinanood ko na rin. Hanggang sa nagtuloy-tuloy na. Yun. Yung pagiging fan ko sa kanila, hindi siya masyado sumakses kasi nga hayato sila that time kasi nag-military enlistment din sila. So, they were set to return 2025. So, that was last year. But, last year kasi iba na yung priorities ko. So, hindi na ako nakapunta.
And that was COVID era po ba?
COVID, oo,
Mga
COVID.
panahon na yun. Alam mo, actually, nakaka-relate din ako. Siyempre, as a fangirl din naman talaga. Pero hindi kasing successful ni Ate Sheen. Parang siguro pares kami ni Ate AJ because ako isa ring, ayoko na, baka may ipalabas. But, naging fan din ako ng isang P-pop group. So, grabe rin yun. Parang nagkaroon din ako ng time na pumunta talaga ako at nanood ng concert. It's parang ano siya, parang patapos pa yung COVID. But yun nung na-lift na yung mga restriction, nagkaroon na sila ng concert. So, nag-attend ako and all. Tapos, I think it's 2023 din. Tapos, grabe, nag-start din yun sa mga reels. Tapos, ngayon, napunta rin ako ng YouTube. And also, meron din kasi silang mga parang vlog din nila na parang Run BTS. I know the Run BTS kasi napapanood ko rin siya. Kasi, aside from having a P-pop, fan, or naging fan ako ng P-pop group na yun, I also have some K-pops because parang sa tingin ko yung culture din natin and even yung generation na men natin is napalaki din tayo somehow ng mga fan base, 'di ba? Parang andyan yung F4, 'di
Yes,
ba?
Damingsu.
Diba? Si Damingsu, 'di ba? Kaya I believe that this podcast marami talagang makaka-relate sa ating mga viewers. And gusto ko lang itanong na looking back, why do you think na sobra kayo naging fan? No, what about them? What about Chris Ellis? What about the BTS that make you parang hook sa kanila or attracted sa kanila? Ate Sheen.
Honestly, at first, it was really the never say die attitude. Diba, there's this one game na sobra akong na-hook kasi tambak sila, tas they managed to take the championship that time. And for me lang, it was so inspiring na no matter what life throws at you, yung kahit talo ka na, kahit parang dehado ka na, laban pa din hanggang dulo, just like Ginebra. So, at first, it was really their never say die attitude. But looking back on my journey, I realized it wasn't just about that. It's also being part of the community. Kasi 'di ba, in a fan group, you really feel like you belong. And yung sa mga fans na nanonood ngayon, you will probably agree with me na in a fan group, you will really feel like you belong.
And even lang yun, hindi kayo nagkikita.
Oo.
Even sa tweet lang, di ba, pag
Oo.
reply.
Actually, naka 13,000 tweets ako eh.
Wow,
Bi-
sobrang
Isang
successful
introvert na
talaga.
kagaya ko, naka 13,000 tweets ako para dyan sa Ginebra. And in a fan group, you will feel na you are seen and you will feel connected.
Yeah.
Kasi siguro, there's something about being surrounded by people who love the same thing as
Yeah.
you. Na lahat kami, love ang Ginebra. And I really experienced that firsthand na kahit hindi ko sila kakilala at first, parang it felt like a family.
Yeah, you have the same ground.
Oo. Kasi who would have thought na ang isang introvert na katulad ko, from Taga-Kalamba, babiyahe pa QC para manood ng practice game and meet people who started as strangers talaga. And hindi pa uso na yung Angkas, hindi pa uso yung Grab, even yung Google Maps, but I still go. And even now actually, I can still remember yung faces ng mga tao na naging part ng fangirling journey ko. Yung mga fellow admins ko sa Super Ellis Angels, yung ate and kuya ko sa Ginebra Fanatics. And one more thing pala, I realized I really tend to devote myself deeply into something. Parang yung heart ko, naturally wired siya for that kind of loyalty and admiration. And in that season of my life, I think it got directed toward Ginebra and toward Chris Ellis. So, three things for me.
Yeah. How about you, Ate?
Ako naman, sa BTS, yung rags to riches story nila. Kasi yung sa K-pop world, may 3 big agencies. I think up to now, active pa naman sila. So if part ka nung agency na yon, if you're training under them, hindi problem yung budget because may budget naman sila. But BTS trained under a small company called Hybe. And Hybe are big hit. Kasi again, yun yung name nila. Like, yun yung name ng agency. And they were really small. Tapos wala silang money. May time pa noon na si Suga, one of the members, he had to work part-time after training. Tapos may isang araw na wala na siyang pamasahe. So nilakad niya yung sobrang layo. Ganun yung life nila. Tapos pupunta sila sa shows ng wala silang food. Tapos yung time nila short lang. So para silang underdog sa K-pop industry. And it really inspired me kasi when I was creating the Grief Journal, wala naman din akong big budget. My parents weren't rich. Parang ganon. I was like just dreaming on my own na maybe if they could do it, maybe I can too. So parang ganon. Ganon yung nag-i-impact nila sa akin. So I really think na yung story nila is a big part of me as a person. Also, pangalawa, yung group kasi na BTS, they were the first K-pop group I came across with na they were advocating for mental health. So, para sa akin that time, sobrang bago nun. Kasi wala naman akong kilalang ibang artist na they're openly sharing yung mental health struggles nila and like, what can you do about it? Parang ganun. Ganun yung, even their songs, very inspiring. Siyempre, hindi ko naman naiintindihan. Pero, yung mga subtitles, and kapag inintindi mo siya, yung songs nila is very deep. Actually, favorite ko si Namjoon. Si RM, yung leader nila, kasi siya yung nagra-write ng songs nila. And very poetic, very deep. Tapos, ang hilig din niya mag-read kasi reader din siya. And yun, na-inspire ako sa kanila. That's why, nahook ako sa kanila.
I think I could relate din on how kayo na-hook or na-attract dun sa yung... Well, so I think I can relate din on paano kayo na-hook dun sa kunyari sa BTS and also sa Ginebra because speaking sa experience ko, parang fan po ako na SB19. Sige, sinabi ko na I was an 18 or up to now siguro. And they have the same story with BTS, di ba? They started from parang very little budget, but pag nakita naman natin sila ngayon, di ba, they're very successful na rin. And aside from that, pati yung mga music din nila, no? Yung I think parang naturally na-incline tayo kapag excellent music or excellent talent, di ba, that they have. And parang, yung sabi nga ni Ate Shin kanina, yung mabilong ka din sa community. And tas add pa doon, if mismo yung nilolook up mo, mapansin ka din. Di ba? Parang nakaka-add din yun as a boost, as a fangirl. So, kayo po ba ay still a fangirl pa rin? Or are you still on ARMY? Are you still a fan of Ginebra until today?
Hindi na. Pero habang nakikinig kay AJ, yung magsaship na ata ako sa BTS.
Naka-recruit pa.
Na-recruit pala ako.
Mamaya i-check mo na yung mga reels.
Oo, tapos sa YouTube next.
Oo. But why do you think that change? Parang ano yung nakapagpabago ng isip nyo? Or what changed?
For me, not because someone told me to stop, pero something deeper changed in me. And as my relationship with Jesus grew, my priorities shifted din talaga. Yung mga bagay before na that take up so much space sa heart ko, it became less central. So it wasn't forced, I think. It just happened naturally.
How about you, Ate AJ? Can you still consider yourself as an ARMY today? Or
I don't consider myself as an ARMY, pero I'm still a fan. I'm still rooting for them.
Yeah.
Kapag may update sa kanila, I'm still interested, but not the same devotion as before. Also, yung time na ini-spend ko before watching their YouTube, hindi na siya same.
Oo.
And I think what changed, same kay Shin, yung priorities sa life. Parang after kasi nang nilaunch ko na yung business ko, parang wala na ako masyadong time mag-fangirl.
Yeah.
Also, when I went back to church, iba na rin yung hinahanap ng heart ko. Like, I still admire them, but yung sense of inspiration ko sa iba ko na nakuha, which is kay Jesus na.
Yeah.
Also, because kinasal kasi ako around 2023. So, simula nung time na yun, hindi na talaga ako masyadong nag-fangirl. Parang nagbago na rin yung focus ko talaga sa life.
Mm.
Ayan.
I think meron akong question na pinaponder kanina, no, on the way here, is that, sino ba talaga yung worthy ng pagiging fangirl or fanboy natin? No, you know, as a Christian, di ba? Sino yung talagang ibibigay at ibubuhos natin yung time? Sino yung mas worthy na yun? And I think if there's one person a Christian should be a fan of, that's Jesus. Di ba? You would agree with me. And ngayon naman, I wanna ask, who is Jesus in your life, since we're talking about Jesus? And how did that relationship with Him shift the way you see na ngayon yung admiration or yung worth or who deserves your deepest devotion? Sige po, Ate AJ.
Ako naman.
Mm-mm.
Ako muna. Si Jesus, sa akin, alam niyo ba yung song na, no? The One That Got Away?
Katy
You know that
Perry.
song? Yeah, Katy Perry. Sa akin naman si Jesus yung the one who never ran away. Kasi ako, as a person, I would say, if you turn me into a plant, I'm like a cactus. Very prickly. Pag hinag mo ako, masasaktan ka. Parang ganon. Before, I was like that before. Very angry as a person. I also struggled with a lot of mental health problems. So, yung pag binabalikan ko yung time, yung past ko, it was not rosy. Parang ang dark niya. But throughout those years, Jesus stayed. He never really left me. Even when I felt like I was alone. Kasi nung time na bumalik ako ng church, and when I prayed again to Him, parang walang nagbago eh. Walang nagbago. Jesus really stayed. And He's the one, parang hindi siya na-offend sa kung sino ako. I can be myself to Him. So for me, if there is one person in my life na pagbubuhusan ko ng oras ko, lunuyok ako, ng oras ko, ng thoughts ko, isipin ko siya lagi. Like, I'll read about Him, I learn more about Him, I'll spend money on Him, kasi diba ganun tayo? When we are devoted to something, we spend everything we have dun sa taong yun.
Yeah.
So that's my heart now na, okay, yung lahat ng meron ako, my entire life, I'll devote it to Jesus.
How about you, Ate?
Ako, let me tell you a story.
Oh.
Hindi. Kasi, growing up, again, I thought that I knew Jesus. Kasi, especially when you have a Roman Catholic background, pag pumapasok ka sa simbahan, you see Him there, hanging on the cross. And for me, that was it. Na I knew Jesus, but I didn't really experience who Jesus is. Tapos, nung nakilala ko siya nung high school, I experienced His love. And yung love na yon really washes every insecurity that I have. Kasi yun yung time na dami kong insecurities. Yung skin color ko, tapos nabully pa ako nung bata. Tapos may mga life experiences din ako na hindi maganda. And that love, nung na-experience ko siya kay Jesus, it's a love that told me that I have nothing to prove because I am already approved, that I am His beloved and He is well pleased with me. And akala ko magiging smooth yung journey ko, but yung walk ko with God, it is not smooth sailing. So nung college ako, I drifted. So hindi ako nag-a-attend na ng church because of shame. Kasi that's the time na I felt like I'm a failure nung naging repeater ako ng college. And that moment, sabi ko nga kanina, yung college life ko, doon nag-deepen yung fangirling journey ko. So, sabi ko, kung hindi ako sa-success sa academics, edi dito na lang ako sa-success sa pag-fangirl. Kaya siguro sumakses talaga ako. And nung January to March 2014, so ayun na kasi yung peak talaga ng pagiging fangirl ko. I was very invested. Yun na yung time na lagi ako nag-attend ng practice game, ng games, live, just without me realizing it. Sobra na siyang nag-affect dun sa emotions ko, sa mood ko. So in short, that season of my life, I really felt na misplace ko yung devotion that should have been for Jesus. But in April 2014, I attended crossover where I got to experience His love again. So it's an Encounter God retreat sa DMI Calamba. And amazing kasi yung theme nun ay Army of Lovers. Tapos, it was inspired by a verse, Psalm 24, which reminds us that those who can stand before the Lord are those with clean hands and pure heart. But here's the catch, those who do not put their trust in idols. So, parang may sinasabi talaga yung Lord sa akin that time. It's really an affirmation na I was born to love God with all of my being. So, to be an army of lovers, hindi army of BTS. Ayan siya. So, from that story, same with AJ na, since na-experience ko yung love na yon, yung a love kung sa kanya, a love na yung nagstay talaga, yung sa akin, it's a love that never lets me go. And how can I not worship the one who loved me so much that even his life he gave for me? So I think ayun na yung tingin ko when it comes to devotion or yung admiration. Parang he is worth my all.
Parang isang realization ko rin po yan as a fangirl. Parang gusto kong copy yung parang I wanna give my full devotion to Jesus. Because parang ang realization ko rin po, no, may point ng fangirl era ko rin na talagang matanda ko ng concert nila tapos sobrang yung tili ko ba, yung sigaw ko every time they come out on the stage. And then it hits me, no, na parang if I could give this kind of devotion to a human or a man, what more dun sa person na talagang love ako? What more dun sa person ng worthy talaga nung sigaw ko na yun, di ba? Nung devotion ko na yun. So, I could relate to sa lahat ng mga sinabi nyo rin. And kanina na-mention nyo po, no, yung about the idols in our life, no. If we go back to the scripture in the Bible, yung idolatry just means worshiping anything else other than God. So, I want to go back since medyo nag-shift yung topic natin into, our realization. But I want to go back to our journey as a fangirl. What did you learn about the difference between yung admiring someone and making them an idol in your heart? Okay, Ate Shane.
For me, yung admiration and idolatry can look very similar at first.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the difference would be to where your heart is anchored. Saan talaga nakalagay yung puso mo. Being a Ginebra fan, it really started out a simple admiration. So, I enjoyed the game, I love the team, I love the never say die attitude, and I enjoy being part of the community. But, hindi ko na mamalayan, I was really invested talaga, emotionally, to the point na it affect my time. Siyempre, kailangan pagbuusan mo siya ng oras. Even yung mood ko doon na, to the point na parang may nakakaaway ako before na ibang team. Yung fan ng ibang team. And for me, yung admiration, I think, is healthy. But yung idolatry, it is something na you allow thing to take space in your heart. And pag hindi natin siya babantayan, parang I think that's when the line start to blur na akala mo you admire something pero yun pala you fall in the trap of idolatry.
How about you, Ate AJ?
Ako naman, I wanna look at what it means ba kung what does being an idol mean? Like, pag sinabi mong itong bagay na to is a god or an idol, what does that mean? Kasi across cultures, di ba, ang dami rin namang gods. Like sa atin, we have Yahweh. In Egypt, they have Ra. And sa Greece, iba naman si Zeus. So across all these cultures, ano yung function ng isang God sa buhay ng isang tao? And for me, I think I realized, you can summarize it to 3 P's. 3 P's. 3 P's. A God provides for you. Sa kanya ka nagdedepende ng provision mo. And a God protects you. And a God prescribes what is right or wrong. So if may something sa life mo na you get these 3 P's from, aside from God, that's an idol. So for example, in the context of celebrity, if may in-endorse yung celebrity na you know is not pleasing to God, but dahil in-endorse niya, okay lang siguro yun. So you're allowing that person to say what is right or wrong, and you're not basing it from what God says. So that can be seen as an idol. So kasi yung tatlong P na yun, is really says a lot about your priority. Like, kanino ka ba kumukuha ng security mo? Who is the biggest voice in your life? Parang ganon. Ano yung truth mo? Kasi di ba sa culture ngayon, parang may sinasabi na, own your truth. Ano yung truth mo? Like, iba-iba per person. But we know, in the Bible, there is one truth lang. So, ano yung truth na pangahawakan mo? If there is any other truth na yun yung pinangahawakan mo aside from God, that's an idol. Kasi it can also, hindi lang sa celebrity, di ba? Can be money, can be fame, can be another person. So yung mga ganun.
Actually, I thought when I said yes to this podcast din, ang akala ko na idols na pag-uusapan lang ay were my Ginebra days. Pero even until now, parang there are still things that can quietly become our idols. Minsan, yun, yung dreams natin, or even the good things, like ministry. And I think, ang hirap niyang i-notice kasi it's not wrong on the surface. That's why we have to be mindful kung ano yung i-allow talaga natin to take space in our heart and to always bring it back to Jesus and to really keep Him the center of everything.
I think anything that take up so much sa heart natin apart from Jesus is our idol din talaga, no? Even our dreams, I could say that. And may tendency tayo, yung mga so-called idols natin sa life, ay pagbigyan talaga natin ng time or maging obsessed tayo. But in the other hand, is there like such a thing as being obsessed with Jesus naman? What does being a fangirl or a fanatic of Jesus looks like to you? Ate AJ.
Ako naman. Ako for me, kasi kapag naging fangirl ako, inaaral ko siya. I want to get to know this person. Like, for example, sa BTS, gusto ko alam ko lahat ng songs nila. So, binalikan ko yung first album nila hanggang sa current. Inalam ko kailan ba sila nag-debut, ilang years na ba sila, ganon. I study the person. So, for me, as a fan of Jesus, pwede tayo maging fanatic. Dapat fanatic tayo ni Jesus. We should be passionate about Him. As a passionate fan ni Jesus, I study Him. Yun yung pinaka ginagawa ko. I read the Bible. I think about yung life niya dito when He was living. Minsan iniisip ko, like, may favorite food kaya siya noon? Like, mahilig ba siya sa bread? Kaya ba siya bread of life?
Daily bread.
Yeah, yung mga ganung tanong. I'm just so curious about him. And also one thing is, kinakopy ko. Kapag, kilala niyo ba si Park Bo Young?
Yeah, oo.
Familiar
K-drama.
kayo? K-drama. K-drama,
Actress.
a Korean actress, si Park Bo Young. Park Bo Young. Sobrang cute niya. Kasi siya, petit lang siya. Tapos, ang galing niya umarte. And, nung nagkaroon siya ng drama, sobrang naging fan niya ako. Ginaya ko yung style niya, yung hairdo niya. Ginaya ko talaga. Nagpabangs ako. So, parang ganun ako. If I'm a fan of yours, kagayahin kita. So, if you apply that to Jesus, I try to be like Him. Of course, I'm not perfect. Parang wala naman talagang kayang maging parang siya. But isn't that the calling din naman of a Christian, like to be Christ-like? Yun. So what I say, I'm trying to be more gentle sa words ko. Yun, what I do. Yung mga ganun.
Sa akin, being a fan of Jesus, especially yung may history ng pagpa-fangirl, I think hindi yung parang I'm switching off that personality or magpe-pretend ako na I don't have that kind of passion like I used to have nung Ginebra days ko. But I think I can devote myself into something that I am in awe of. And that awe got directed toward Jesus. So, before, yung devotion na meron ako sa Ginebra, I was willing to go out of my way. Yun nga, from Calamba to QC for a practice game. Then I will go back to Calamba to attend a 5:30 p.m. class in college. So, ganun ako ka-all in. So, nung nakilala ko si Jesus at experience ko yung love niya, if I could go all in, how can I not do this to Jesus? And yung devotion na na-redirect to Jesus, I think it shows up especially when in prayer, in worship, even being part of the church community. And that's it for me.
Parang hearing what you said kanina, parang naisip ko tuloy, kapag fangirl ka pala before, tapos nakilala mo si Jesus, nagkaroon ka ng relationship, ikaw pala, mas fangirl ka pa pala. Parang kaya mo pala maging fangirl. So meron na palang tayong branding na kapag fangirl ka before, mas fangirl ka.
Even more.
Even more kapag nakilala mo si Jesus. So, yeah. So, sa ngayon po, how do you engage with the celebrity culture? And do you still follow yung the BTS, or the Ginebra? And do you still enjoy their music or their games? And sa tingin niyo po, where do you draw the boundaries or your personal boundaries? Go, Ate Sheen, go.
Unlike AJ, yung sinabi niya kanina na she still admire. Ako, wala talaga. I don't watch the games anymore. I no longer follow them on social media. And honestly, if not for this podcast, hindi ko na maaalala na may ganun palang season ng life ko. And ayun nga, looking back, I can't remember God specifically told me, you have to give that up. It was not really forced. Naturally lang siya talaga na nag-shift yung priorities. And I think that's where I draw that boundary. Na since I remember, hindi ko alam kung sino nagsabi nito, pero what gets our attention shapes our affection. So, how can I draw that boundary? I think to continually fix my eyes on Jesus. And I think a lot of people see Christianity as a list of do's and don'ts. For example, if you're a fangirl or a fanboy, you might feel hesitant to follow Jesus kasi you think that the people in the church would immediately tell you, you have to give up your idol or stop what you love kasi God is against it. So, looking back in my journey, I didn't feel it that way. Parang I feel like wala akong nilet go kasi I found something greater, and that is Jesus.
It's good. But,
Ako naman, like I said before, I still admire them. Even minsan pinagpipray ko sila. Kasi I really love their character as people. Parang ang kind nila, ganun. And I pray na they will also encounter Jesus kasi yun, love ko sila.
yeah.
And sa boundaries, I think it has to do with time. Kasi for me, personally, pag na-obsess ako sa isang bagay, I can pour hours and hours on it na hindi ko namamalayan. So, time is a very practical way for me to measure kung nasan yung heart ko. Also, money. Like, saan napupunta yung money ko? Because that's your priority. If you say priority mo si Jesus, pero big part of your salary ay napupunta sa fangirling and
Yeah.
other stuff, hindi siya
Hindi
totoo.
album, yeah.
So you have to reassess. So parang I use those two, time and money, to establish boundaries din. Yun. I still follow them, pero hindi na ako yung obsessed na kailangan ko malaman bawat detalye about their
Updated, yeah.
lives. Oh, yun.
And I love that, sabi niyo po, pinagpipray niyo sila. I think it's, as a Christian, we can do that also sa
Yes.
mga pina-follow natin or sa mga nilolook up to natin. No? We can pray for them for their success, di ba? And I think, yun, makaka-relate din ako kasi, although hindi na ako ganun din sobrang hook up dun sa SB19, but nandun pa rin naman ako to support them, di ba? Like, I will like their reels kapag may bago silang music video, ganun. Pero hindi na as devoted as I am before. And grabe yun, we can take that no, to pray for them talaga. So, you think ba if fangirls and fanboys would take one thing from our episode for today, what do you want it to be? Sige, Ate Shin.
If there's one thing, I would like to say na yung passion nyo is not the problem. You were created to love, you were created to admire, you were created to be devoted to something. I think our hearts are naturally wired na ibigay talaga natin yung heart natin into something that we're drawn to because we were created for worship. Even the Israel, they were brought out of Egypt by God. For what reason? So that they can freely worship Him. Because worship was always the point. And ang real question dito, not that where you get that inspiration, but where you place your heart. Sa people ba? Sa celebrities, K-pop groups, teams? And I think yung mga yon, they were never meant to satisfy us. And if you're a fangirl and a fanboy and you suddenly ask naman, how do I remove idols in my life? I want to quote what Timothy Keller said. Sabi niya, idols cannot simply be removed. It must be replaced. Kasi if you try to uproot them, they will grow back. So, it must be supplanted by what? By God Himself. So, take away ng mga nanonood, I realize na when si God na-take niya yung heart natin, we can realize na yung hinahanap natin, what our hearts are longing for, can only be satisfied in Him.
Yes. Ako naman, halos same din kay Sheen. But naalala ko lang that K-pop bands or celebrities, they're not perfect. Yung iba nagdi-disband. Yung iba, they retire from the industry. So, if you place your joy sa kanila, it's very fragile. And one way or another, they're going to disappoint you. So, this is not to condemn fangirls and fanboys because as she said, may natural inclination tayo to look for something above, beyond ourselves. That's why we love the moon, we love the stars, kasi, alam mo, it's beyond us. And we admire that. And this is just an invitation na invite Jesus into your heart and into your life. And I like what Sheen said na you can't uproot an idol, you just have to replace it. And there is no one in this entire universe who is more worthy than Jesus to be the God in our hearts. And He will never, ever fail us. Yun lang.
That's a good take and that's a good advice from the super fangirls of Ginebra and super fangirls of BTS to a super fangirl of Jesus now. So thank you so much for being with me, being with us today, Ate AJ and Ate Sheen. And alam ko na maraming makakarelate on today's episode. And if you guys, you have some comments, please just leave your comments down below. And you can share and like also this episode. And we will see you on our next podcast. Bye!
Bye!